Hey guys, Dancy2 back with more Fire Emblem Heroes! Radiance has finally arrived! It's not like Ike is the most loved character or anything, it took us this long. And, yeah, okay. I'm gonna not lie to you right here. I have no strong ties with the Radiance series at all. I don't know jack shit about it. I've told this story many times. I don't know anything about Fire Emblem outside of Awakening and a bit of Fates. But it's here and it's awesome, so we're gonna take a look at it. Unfortunately, as you can tell by my orb total, I'm a few shy of actually doing a full pull. So this is obviously by the time this video comes out, we're gonna pull something. But I wanted to record this opening bit while I still had a chance this morning, and hopefully by tomorrow I will be able to do this and edit it all together. Yeah, first off, we have Ike. Ike is actually a pretty strong character. He's definitely the thing to pull from this whole thing. Him and I would say maybe Titania, but that's just because of her ability. But Ike, he has Ragnall, which is 16 might, so high damage legendary weapon with distant counter. Yeah, no, this is something I saw coming, because Pram will just throw that shit at people, and I think even in his own game, Ike will just throw that shit at people. So, yeah, that's the thing. He's basically Ryoma on steroids from his entire skill list here, because he has Ether. Now, normally Ether isn't all that good. A 5-turn cooldown for a non-AoE ability is kind of crap, even if it does basically do two things at once. And if you're wondering, he goes up the Luna side of Ether, much like Lucina does, apparently. So that's definitely something to his advantage. Because a lot of the thing that kind of holds back Chrom from being a good damage dealer is the fact that he goes up the Soul side. Now, granted, that makes him good for transferring abilities if you want to get Soul, but Ike is going to be going up Luna just like Lucina did. But normally, this would not be good. However, he gets this new exclusive ability called Heavy Blade. Basically, if his attack is greater than the foe's at level 3, he gets +1 special attack, so he gets 2 special charges per hit. I believe that's only on his attacks, though. I do not believe that counts for incoming hits as well. I believe that only counts for outgoing, but since he has distant counter, he's always going to be counterattacking unless the opponent has, like, Wind Sweep or something. That just blocks his counter outright. So, that's pretty cool. So, really, that Ether cooldown is more along the lines of 3 instead of 5, which is very powerful. And, of course, he has Swordbreaker as his final ability. Not a bad skill. I would probably roll Quick Repose on him instead, or potentially Vantage. Either one is good, obviously, depending on what you want to do. Quick Repose, I think, is actually a little bit better just because of how Heavy Blade and Ether combo each other, but Vantage definitely has some survivability tact. Next up, we have Soren. I might not have my bunnies, but at least I have, I've got, like, half a bunny, I think. I don't know that much about this guy. Apparently he's a half-breed, but that has all kinds of problems because half-breeds in Awakening are, like, full breeds, and I don't know. There's some difference between the Lenguez and Togwell that I don't know about. But the point is, we're getting closer, guys. We might make it there by the end of the year, and we might get a new weapon class. Unfortunately, Soren is kind of crap. I should have put stats up for Ike, by the way, just to go back to him for like 5 seconds. He's really strong across the board. His speed leaves a little bit to be desired. He's in a really awkward speed tier where he's just underneath things, and his resistance is garbage, but aside from that, he's pretty good. My advice would be HP down and either defense or speed up. Just because you can easily counteract that HP with HP+. And his HP is 42, so he's already in a solid HP tier anyway. As for Soren, though, I wish I could say better things about him. He's basically, he has slightly more resistance than Nino, but slightly less defense as a result. So he's basically my Nino. Unfortunately, though, he has basically the same HP and attack. Unfortunately, his speed is 3 points under Nino, so he has to have an advantage, a speed up, and Nino has to have a speed down in order for him to actually beat her out. So, unfortunately, he is just kind of a inferior Nino in that regard. He does get access to Growing Wind and Re-Excalibur, so really he's more in line with Merrick. And luckily he beats the living shit out of Merrick, just because Merrick not very good in my opinion. That 26 attack stat really hurts that guy. Water Sleep is basically Wind Sleep for magical attacks, so no follow-up attacks occur, and no counterattacks against magic-based weapons, but he requires a higher speed in order to do it, and unfortunately, once again, 33 speed is a very awkward speed tier. He can outspeed certain things, but not everything, and because of that, it's weird, alright? He does get Fortify Resistance, though, which is decent. He actually would synergize decently well with a Goron Blade user. Or just a Blade user in general for the spells. So yeah, he's okay. He's solid mid-tier in terms of Green Tome users, I would say. Not great, but not terrible. You could do better, but you could do a hell of a lot worse. Next up we have Mist. Mist is like nothing. It does not help the fact that this basically confirms my theory that these guys should have been in the sibling deals, the sibling bonuses, but I mean, I guess it's better this way because they got to introduce new things in the story campaign and kind of disprove my worry that we couldn't add actually new story chapters, that we could only add paralogs. But no, they just have... They basically gave us 15 free chapters, and that's across all difficulties, obviously, but that's pretty nice. But as for Mist herself, is not pretty here. She very clearly does not know what she wants to do with her abilities. Her stats are meaningless. She has high resist, low defense. So, that's that, but she very clearly does not know what she wants to do. Slow, Recover, Miracle, and Spur Defense. None of these synergize with each other at all, unfortunately. I'm still on a lookout for her because I don't have a Miracle user yet, and I really want to try out Miracle Martyr combo. Because that seems like a really fun idea. Just have her run out, take enough hits to proc Miracle, go down to 1 HP, and then Wings of Mercy out, and then Martyr everyone for an eternity. Just seems like a really... It seems like a very well put... I still think Rehabilitation is your best healing option in general, but this seems like a nice alternative as well, if you could play your cards right. I know Lucius kind of came with half of this build to begin with, but, I ain't get Lucius. And I still don't have a Miracle user, even though there's like 3 in the game now. And lastly, we have Titania. Titania is, I don't know how she works. She is a fast sort of tank. Emerald Axe is okay. Gem weapons in general are... I consider them far more defensive than offensive. And it definitely helps play to some of her advantages, but the fact that she only has a 25 defense and her resistance is 30 is very middle of the ground. Like, her resistance can definitely help her, but her defense, she's going to want a defense boost nature if she wants to tank at all. And her HP is only 37, unfortunately. That's lower than my Tiki without HP plus. That's not pretty, and Tiki is one of the lower HP tanks in the game, so... Her attack stat is 28, by the way, and her speed is really what's going to help her, because her speed is 34, which means she's not going to take a lot of double attacks if she has to take an attack of opportunity of any kind. Armored Blow is definitely going to help her on that defensive front, but that's still only going to put her up to 31, and that's on her offense as well. Reciprocal Aid can help keep her alive by allowing her to heal herself off of her allies, and it will definitely help with that low HP total. But I think really the interesting thing about her is her exclusive ability, which is Guard. Basically, if you're above a certain HP point, I believe it has the same as Quick Repose. No, it's less than Quick Repose. Ugh. But yeah, if your HP is above 80%, then you basically increase your opponent's special cooldown by 1 when you initiate combat. Or when combat is initiated, period, with this unit. Which, it means that focusing her down is going to be a little difficult, but at the same time, I feel like she has a really weird stat distribution, and I'm not positive if it's going to work well for her or not. It's not something I've seen before. Having another Axe Cavalier is decent, because I believe the only two that are in the game right now that I can think of off the top of my head are two Jaegers, which is Frederick and what's-his-face. I can't remember his name now. He's garbage. He's basically a buffer. But the point is, I'm not sure how well Titania would do in a general sort of sense. Overall, like I said, I think Ike is the thing you want to pull from this. Merrick is solid mid-tier. Mist is just another healer. And Titania is this weird setup that could have some theoretical potential, but unfortunately I think relies on being an offensive tank a little bit too much. And I didn't like that with Tiki. Because, as you saw, I got rid of her Armored Blow. I thought it was a useless ability on her. She already has really good defenses. Titania is like that, but she needs Armored Blow to be a defensive unit. It's just not pretty for her, in my opinion, and I don't know, it seems weird. I'm sure she has some kind of use, but Ike is definitely the thing you want to pull from this. And what I will be trying to pull in a minute, what will be a minute for you guys, more like a second, but will probably be a day for me while I wait for my stamina to recover. I could just use a stamina potion, but I have work in like an hour, so forget that. Anyway, see you guys in a little bit. Okay, I'm sorry I couldn't wait. This is my end results. Nothing really that interesting, but nothing really terrible either. Multiple 4 stars is definitely nothing to complain about, considering sometimes the game can be really stingy about giving them to you. Sometimes that 30% chance seems more like a 10. So yeah, getting 3 of them is pretty good haul. That being said, none of the units really stand out, except for, like, Sully is the best unit in this crew, and maybe Donald, but I already have a Donald is the problem at 4 star. So it's like, not all that interesting. But what is interesting is the map, so let's talk about that. Alright, so, as I said or may not have said, I kind of want this to be an overall review of everything that was added in this update, not just the characters themselves. So I'm gonna take a minute and talk about the story campaign maps. First off, like I said, I'm really happy that they can add actual story maps and not just the paralog maps. I was kind of worried about that, to be perfectly honest. Although, what they decided to put in story, what they decided to put paralog seems kind of arbitrary, especially since, if you're looking at it from a strictly story purpose, there is important stuff in the paralogs. Which, doesn't make much sense, but whatever. The actual Radiance edition, it was pretty fun to play through. Most of them, I don't want to say all of them, because I think a couple of them are standard maps, but most of them are holdout maps, where you have to survive a certain number of turns, and they're pretty decent. The super crazy gimmick this time around is that one of the units, usually, or almost always a main unit, one of the character units, will have a sacred seal on them that will turn them completely invincible because Veronica, or whatever the hell her name is a dick. Speaking of being a dick, she kind of jumps you, which brings the question why no one has given me a sharp object to defend myself with. I mean, I know I have a gun, but the ammunition for this thing costs an arm and a leg, literally. But yeah, why has no one given me a sharp object yet? I kind of need to defend myself from psycho bitches like this. Aside from that, though, I feel like the maps are okay. They walk a fine line between having choke points and not having choke points, so that's a good thing. I do like the fact that they added in an entire new story section. That's nice. And of course we have this over here. I didn't even know we had new quests. What is it? Oh yeah, Axe User is my next one. Yeah, that's not happening. I don't have any good Axe Users, unfortunately. And I just barely managed to scrape by the last one. Part 4 with a sword user. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Where's Carl at? But yeah, no, I feel like these holdout missions are okay. I don't know exactly how you could incorporate them into the rest of the game, is the only problem. If you did a Grand Hero battle with one of them, that would be fun. Mainly because it'd sit in the corner and cry simulator. No. Carl, please. Thank you. But yeah, they were okay. I'm not sure what else they have planned, but I'm willing to see, like, new map concepts like this come into play, because honestly, like, without them, I feel like this game would have had the same problem that a lot of people think Awakening has, which is everyone's like, oh, Awakening's map design is kind of bland. I'll admit it is, but it's not terrible. And I feel like this game, if they hadn't decided to start introducing new map concepts, it could have had the same problem, but they're at least trying, and that's a good thing. Now, if only we could do something about the voting gauntlet and Arena. Now, Arena works, I just don't like it. Mainly because what you're asking me to do, essentially, is play Trials of Osiris, and I don't like Trials of Osiris. And Voting Gauntlet has, like, 10 problems with it, but I've already gone over that in detail. In any case, yeah, I like this update. You done good by me, Nintendo. At least in regards to this sort of thing. Yeah. I really don't have an outro or anything, so thank you! Wow, oh no wait, that's because I just did a mission, duh. God damn it, alright. I will see you guys next time with whatever the hell happens. See you guys then. Alright. Fuck it. One shot. What do we got? This is so dumb. I don't know why I'm doing this. I mean, I guess I gotta go with the best chance here. Please don't. This will be dumb if you do. Okay, well, at least that's something I don't have. Even if I want to burn him in a fire. What do you even get? Because I know Female Horn is great for Hone Attack Dump. Defense plus and Obstruct. I'll have to look at your base stats. You might be decent as a tank. I don't know, whatever. See you guys next time.